I don't want to sound all doom and gloom, but we're out of every single cup competition, and it's not been that long since I was last here. I was dreaming of coming back for the FA Cup third round. Instead, we lost against League 2 Rochdale. Yeah, after a couple of years of cup runs, there isn't one today. As a result, we are back. We are in the league. We are taking on Colchester and Forest Green. We're in second. They're in third and fourth. With a run of easy games coming up after this, we are poised to put ourselves in a really strong position. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Park to Prem. This is episode number 41 with FC United, and with an upcoming run of easier games, I decided that rather than coming back for either Oxford, who we've already seen, or just what should hopefully be an easier game, we'd challenge ourselves. We would test ourselves, especially after crashing out of both cup competitions. There's a chance to set the record straight a little bit. 3 matches played since we were last here. That loss against Rochdale, I already alluded to it in the intro, played what, to be honest, was a very good team. They didn't play very well. A very good team. The rotated 11 that I picked was not good enough. I thought they would be good enough. Maybe it falls on me slightly. Maybe it's my own fault for having faith in the players you can see here. And while things didn't get much better in the EFL Trophy, where we were taking on Crewe, we lost on penalties in the league stage. We were winning 3-1 and we bottled it. They scored a lot of goals in the second half. I say a lot. They scored 2 in the second half. They pulled it back to 3-3. We lost on penalties. Maitland missed the all-important penalty. My little mate. I feel like it's not the first time he's let me down in cup competitions. I should have known. And yeah, the team that lost previously, I gave them a shot at redemption. They threw it away. As a result, in the EFL Trophy, if we just go look at the Northern group stage, we have finished, I mean, you saw us there. We have finished third with 4 points. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. Now, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you might notice something on this screen. Everton are in purple. Jack, why are Everton in purple? I'll tell you why Everton are in purple, because they are an affiliate club of ours, and I totally forgot to mention this in the first half of the season. I'll be honest, it was arranged back in August before the season even begun. Unfortunately, Everton had absolutely no players I could actually loan. So it's an affiliation which isn't that beneficial right now, but if we can get promoted to the Championship, Everton is currently 6th in the Premier League. They've had a tycoon takeover in this save game a few years ago. As far as affiliate sides go, they are the kind of team that could end up having some really, really good players for us to get on loan if we can get to the Championship. I did have a look at their team. I did try and loan some of their squad players, but the players who were actually good enough to play for us, they either didn't want to play for us or Everton didn't think we'd give them high enough level football. Of course, one issue with climbing up the leagues like we have is that our reputation does just lag behind a little bit. It's 2-star regional rep. We need to kind of establish ourselves a little bit more, but longer term, it could be an affiliation that bears fruit, and we do get £40,000 of an annual fee, which I'll be honest, I mean, it's nice, doesn't really help us immediately. We're currently minus £500,000 in the bank. Last November, we were minus £655,000. So if you want to look at the positives, there's less debt now than there was at this time last year. That doesn't make it any less concerning, really, though. So the only league game played since you were last here was against Rotherham. We won this game 5-0, really emphatic performance. 4 of the goals coming in the first half. Nesbitt grabbing 2, Gold, O'Donnell and Duffy also getting on the score sheet. I think the scoreline may be flattered us slightly, but nevertheless, great to get a clean sheet, great to get a win. And despite the disappointment of crashing out of all the different cup competitions, we can now just kind of focus on the league, which I suppose we've got to look at as a positive. Now, weird thing going on, really. We've got 2 away games here against Forest Green and Colchester, and then the matches that follow, I don't want to say they're freebies, but by comparison, they're games that we should win. Fleetwood in 21st, Burton in 18th, AFC Wimbledon in 22nd, Fleetwood again, we play in the league in 21st. I'm not sure why we're playing them so close together. Oxford we then take on, we've already played Oxford this year, and basically there's lots of games against teams in the lower half of the table, so rather than come back for one of those for the sake of coming back for an episode, I figured let's come back to take on 2 very good teams in the league, set ourselves up for success, and then hopefully when I come back in January and maybe we do games against maybe a struggling side like Birmingham City, maybe Sheffield Wednesday, maybe even Mansfield, we should have a better idea of where things are looking. And obviously, we have at least some wage budget and stuff to spend. £29,000 transfer budget, £7,000 free on the wages. There might be business going on in January, because even if there's no money in the bank, I'm going to spend these pennies if I think it can make a difference in terms of getting promotion this year. Now, one other thing I thought would be quite nice to look at just before we get into the two games today is a comparison of our squad versus other squads in the league, because of course right now we are going really, really strong up in second. When you look at the pre-season billing, I think my face is in the way here, but actually we're kind of predicted to finish 20th, and at the start of the season, yeah, the media prediction was also 20th. So to be second in the league is mad. I do feel like reputation plays a big role in terms of how the media predict your team will do. If we just look at kind of all the different positions and our players compared to the league average, you can see here when it comes to goalkeepers, McDonald is a really good goalkeeper for this level. He certainly drags up the average. Defender-wise, if we just take a look at things here, you can see defensively, probably slightly below average. It's always worth remembering, however, that the way that these graphs work is it takes the average for the entire squad. And so when we have quite offensive wing-backs who don't really have defensive bones in their body, they are going to drag down all these defensive bits that we see, like the tackling in the bottom left, heading, jumping, and such. If we move over to the midfield, just again so you can kind of see how things look, midfield-wise, we're kind of middle of the pack. Attacking-wise, if we just look at things, again, probably slightly above average on the whole. I think it's safe to say that the reputation is playing a rather large role in terms of how we're perceived by the media. When you actually look at our team on paper, it's not the second best team in the league, but it's still a reasonably good squad. What I would say is I'm kind of surprised at how bad we are in the physicals column. We're good at jumping, not a great deal else, but mentally, you can see here, really, really above average. We have some of the best off-the-ball movement across the squad in the league. In fact, it is the best in the squad, and our anticipation is also really, really good. Work rate is above average, as are vision, teamwork, and positioning down on the right-hand side, which I feel like are all fairly important. And last but not least, just from a technical point of view, you can see here, technically, we don't have very good crossers. That might have something to do with the fact we literally don't have wingers in our team. But on the whole, we're a team that are kind of average at everything, I feel like. And we're not as bad as the media think. I think actually mid-table, which I think is what I said at the start of the season, is kind of where the squad's at. But at the moment, we're in such a good vein of form. Obviously, we've got Stephen Gold with 13 goals, Nesbitt with 10 goals. The average ratings are dominated by our players. It's kind of crazy to see. And Butterworth is right up there on the assists, which is amazing to see. He is continuing to really have just a standout season. Already matched his number of assists for last season in League 2. He's certainly a player who's really stepped up. But yeah, we're in a good little spot. Obviously, I said this last episode as we went into 3 tough games, but I do feel like after today, taking on the teams immediately trailing us, we should have a good idea of exactly how good we are. So today's first game is going to be against Forest Green. In terms of team selection, we have a full-strength team at our disposal, which is really good to see. On the bench, a small change needed because Cannonier is currently out. He's got a virus. But in terms of the actual team itself, it's McDonald, Taylor, Quansah, Sang and Booty at wing-back. Players who I thought we needed to upgrade going into the season. I still feel like we might need to upgrade them, but at least right now they are 2 players with crazy high ratings, both in the area of kind of a 7.5, and even Quansah at the back on a 7.71 is looking really, really solid. Elsewhere in the team, Butterworth on a 7.49 stands out, as does Gold, who of course is leading the way when it comes to goal scoring in the lead, leading the way in terms of just average ratings. And I feel like between him and Nesbitt, we've got 2 of the best players in the league. 2 players who complement each other quite well. Nesbitt maybe a little bit more athletic. Stephen Gold, a more intelligent striker, someone who uses his smarts rather than his kind of pace to be in the right place at the right time. I do fear that in games where they don't score, we do struggle a little bit. It's kind of nice to have a third striker when you've got a striking pairing who you can throw on off the bench and think, yes, they will get goals for us. I guess we somewhat have that in Maitland, although only 3 goals this year is a little bit of a question mark. And Butterworth and Duffy have been 2 players we've lent on for goals. They are both, of course, starting in the midfield today. So both of today's matches away from home, if we could come away with 6 points, we put ourselves in a really good spot for automatic promotion. What scares me is we have the dreaded kickoff highlight, and it's going to be Forest Green in there. I want to use an adjective other than hideous, but it is hideous. They're hideous green kits. They look awful, don't they? Yeah, I mean, if you turn this game on TV and we're wondering, oh, it's Forest Green versus FC United, I wonder who's playing in which colours. I think you know which team is called Forest Green. It's awful. It's hurting my eyes a little bit. I mean, if we concede here, I'm going to blame it on the fact that my players' eyes haven't adjusted to this kit. Thompson squares it. Taylor clears it away to Gold. He flicks it onto Nesbitt. and Nesbitt has that pace to get in behind. Unfortunately, he's not got the finish to tuck that one away there. Of course, Gold has 5 finishing, Nesbitt has 10 finishing. It's kind of mental that they're both in the top 3 goal scorers in the league. Further reinforcing the idea that maybe it just doesn't matter, the finishing attribute. Maybe that's something that Sports Interactive don't want anyone to know. I feel like we've kind of stumbled across forbidden information or something. Thomas Sang on the near side, throw into Duffy. Can we get the ball into the box? O'Donnell floats it in towards Stephen Gold, who hits the crossbar again. Tick it off your Park to Prem bingo card. Stephen Gold heading the football against the crossbar. I feel like it happens every episode. If you had that on your bingo card, get that one off. And, well, get ready for us to hopefully score. Sula gets the ball forward. I feel like with Sule, I've been changing how to say his name every episode. I feel like I have to have one player in my squad in every series, and they have to be an active player at any one time, whose name I just change on the daily. Last year we had Gilligan. This year we've got Sule, or just Fuad. Maybe I should just call him Fuad. I can be consistent with that. He's been an interesting player for us. He's not been super standout in terms of average ratings, but he's been solid at the back. And well, going forward, Joe Duffy's rather solid. Butterworth and Duffy linking up. I talked about 2 midfielders with goal-scoring ability. Butterworth, assist number 9 for the season. He has now surpassed his assists for last year. He's already edging on double figures as well. Cut Forest Green open through the middle, and that finish by Duffy into the top corner. That was pretty nice, wasn't it? That was an insane finish. Worth noting, Charlton aren't playing at the moment, so if we win this, we go top of the league. They do have 2 games in hand, which is probably worth being aware of. And also, Colchester would be 4 points behind us. They also have a game in hand, so we can't be too assured of our position. I do feel like the game against Colchester, given the fact they have a game in hand, is particularly big. If we win that, that is the game that will certainly really bring us some breathing room between, obviously, the automatic spots and where they're trailing just in the playoffs. Anyway, we're on the attack. Duffy, Nesbitt, gives it to Butterworth, who, well, he's been Mr. Assister this year. That pass was absolutely awful. Not even sure what it was, but it's been gifted to Nesbitt. I think he was offside anyway. The goalkeeper made a good little save. In fact, it wasn't offside. You know what? That makes me more annoyed about that Nesbitt miss. Because those chances that you see missed and you think, well, the guy probably knew that he was offside. You know, it doesn't bother you as much. The fact that that goal would have stood and he's missed it does annoy me. And it does mean at the break, despite being pretty dominant, we go in with only a singular goal to our name. I'm going to tell the players I'm delighted because away from home, I feel like we have to encourage them here. But it has been very one-way traffic so far. 55 minutes gone here and we're looking to get forward again. It's Booty with the ball in. His cross was blocked away, but it's back with Fuad. Gold nods it down to Nesbitt, who tries to tuck it into the corner. On that occasion, he was offside. Feel like we've had lots of chances fall in Nesbitt's way and he's not really been taking them here. Now, Forest Green have a chance of their own. It's a free kick, fairly close to the goal here, so difficult for Oaks to get it up and over. But can he do it? Doesn't have to go up and over. He's just going to go round the wall. McDonald will feel, I think, disappointed to get beaten there. But Forest Green, on the hour mark, make it 1-1. And, I mean, do you blame McDonald for that? I feel like maybe he should do a little bit better. I don't want to be overly critical, because I think he might have the most clean sheets in the league, but I don't know, that's one where you kind of expect him to stop it. Sang's on a booking. I'm going to take him off because he's not having a good game anyway. Elsewhere, Duffy got a goal but has not done a great deal since. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring in Darren Riches, I think. And similarly, Nesbitt, good rating for the game, but he's missed chances. And I bring in Louis Maitland in these kind of games, expecting him to score. He did it last time against Coventry, last episode. I will say, if you missed the last game of the triple header last time out, you missed a banger of a game. Not sure if we're going to be able to repeat that in either of the matches today, but I would certainly like to see Maitland get a late winner for us. In this second half, Forest Green have really, really stepped it up. In many ways, a draw would be a good result if we could get away with it here. 4 minutes of added time. Time is just trickling away. Neither team able to create anything. Disappointing on the one hand that we've kind of lost 2 points here by virtue of a free kick. On the other hand, this was a test, a difficult away game. I feel like we can certainly take the positives away from it. And at the start of the season, we would have undoubtedly taken a draw in that game. Because Charlton haven't played, we do go ahead of them in the table, but Colchester with a game in hand, now breathing down our necks. You can see here that they are only 2 points behind us. They have that game in hand. When we play them next time, they beat us, they will go ahead of us with a match in hand. Suddenly, the automatic promotion spots look slightly less assured. I didn't even realise this, but Forest Green unbeaten in their last 10 home games, so to be honest, to get a draw really isn't that bad. Unfortunately for us, this Colchester game is only a few days away. So with that in mind, we're going to rest up the players. Butterworth also picked up an injury. I'm desperately hoping that's nothing too serious. He's going to be out for 8 to 10 days. So our star centre mid, a man who's been an integral part of how we play, not available. Going to have to make some shuffling movements in the midfield to sort that out. Colchester looming away. They are a team that have been on a good little unbeaten run of form lately, although maybe drawing a few more than they would like. Let's see if we can dish out the pain and get a win against them today, shall we? Before we get into the second game today, a little bit of sad news for the Dylan Crowe fan club. I've been giving him minutes in the cup. He's got knocked out in them. To be fair, I gave him 1 appearance in the league and he did get 2 assists, but he wants to move. He's been trying to force a move by request, and I mean, I'm trying to stand in his way. He's got 18 months left of his current deal. I'm hoping he might reconsider, but it could be that we're in a universe where Dylan Crowe won't be in FC United colours next year, which, when you consider, if we just look at the profile here, he is under the Legends category, would be a little bit sad, wouldn't it? Both Stephen Gold and Crowe in the Legends. We, by the way, alongside Quansah, now considered icons, and in favoured personnel, Regan Booty, Duffy, Sang, Butterworth and Nesbitt. Kind of nice once the players that you've managed start to appear in kind of the key players and historic players section of a football club. I feel like that's when you know you've been there a little while, and, well, to be fair, we have been at FC United now a little while, haven't we? I've not really said that it's season 6 here, but it is our 6th season. It's going really, really well. Well, hopefully it's going to continue to go well in this next game. We are taking on Colchester away. Fixture schedules is a bit tricky, but we're in a good spot. Obviously, Butterworth is unavailable. Cannonier still out injured. What that means is that Lewis O'Donnell is going to move across the team and play as the centre mid on attack today. I think when you look at him here, you can see he's a really good player for this role. And then over on the right-hand side, Hottie is going to come in for us. A player who perhaps isn't the most natural Mazzala in the world, but for this level has really, really good mentals. He's a super well-rounded player, solid kind of physicals as well as in mentals. And I'm hoping that he can do the business for us. When you look at him, he's a player who should be able to do the business for us. And he's not really put a foot wrong so far. He's the kind of player who I thought would get game time, almost expecting Butterworth not to step up to this level. But because we've been doing so well, there's a lot less of a reason, I suppose, to rotate things around. I feel like we've got a winning formula. I don't really want to touch it too much. But anyway, we go into this game against Colchester. It's going to be a tricky one. Again, it's another game away from home. At the start of the year, this is not the kind of game that I thought would have a big bearing on our mid-table finish. But given where we are now, this is big. Colchester trailing us by just a few points with a game in hand. So a win here gives us that breathing room. A defeat here, they'll go above us, and we're probably going to be kissing goodbye to at least our immediate aspirations of automatic promotion. Of course, as I mentioned, the run of games that we've got coming up, kind of the next 8 or 9 games, we only play one team in the top half. So a win here, we could put ourselves into a position where we can get a win, get morale going, and then just snowball a really good sequence of results. I do feel like Football Manager is a game where morale and just, momentum is a big thing, especially. And this is the kind of game that really could, bring some momentum our way. Whilst I've been saying all of that, by the way, Nesbitt just missed a sitter. Really, really should have scored that, the striker. He's missed a few of them today. But like the pressure of the live commentary is almost getting to him. But at least we're creating the opportunities. And if we keep doing that, surely we will score. Joe Duffy, goal number 2 for this episode for him. And it's really nice to see Fuad Souley with the assist, playing that centre mid on defend role. Kind of the underappreciated position in Football Manager, the defensive midfielder this year. They don't get the love with the ratings and how the game calculates them. But that pass there by Fuad was really, really smart. Picks out Duffy. And, well, Duffy kind of has taken the spot over Riches as the centre attacking mid this year. And you can kind of see why, based on the 2 games we've had today. He's found himself in good positions and taken some really good opportunities just in general this season. Anyway, there's a highlight happening here. I think a guy for Colchester's just come on having been injured. I think that's what we were waiting for. But we are now back under play. And underway as Nesbitt's played through, and Nesbitt, not for the first time today, misses another one-on-one. That is his second of this game. At what point do I start to lose my mood with him and just lose my patience with him? He's already annoying me a little bit, but it probably is a little bit soon, even for me, to sub on Maitland now. Elsewhere, by the way, Charlton currently 2 goals up. Birmingham City are in some real danger at the bottom of the table. A big club and a club that you certainly wouldn't associate with League 2 football. If it wasn't for the fact our season's going so well, they're probably the kind of team that I would look at and think, that could be a pretty good job opportunity to go to a big club struggling and maybe, I don't know, carry them up the Football League a little bit. McDonald, by the way, huge stop there by him to ensure it remains 1-0. We are still going to have a corner to deal with here. We've been on top in this game, but a late flurry of chances for Colchester. And when we're weathering this storm, could we catch them on the break, or is this the pointless highlight? I'm expecting a slide tackle and for it to go out for a throw-in at some point in a second. Or, you know, I'll just cut it off like that. I guess that works too. Football Manager, corner. Minute and a half left of the half. McDonald flubs his lines. It's cleared off the line, not once, but twice. We've had a few of those this year where we just have these mad scrambles on the line. All I can really say is I'm glad I'm a manager who puts someone on the post, and on that occasion, McDonald makes a better save. Slightly more convincing than his one previously. 2 minutes of added time. We're already a minute and 40 seconds into it. Can we just get out of here and get to half-time so I can get a little bit shouty? A goal to the good at the break, but Colchester, after a very slow start, really got going as that half progressed. Going to tell the players I'm far from happy, but I've got faith in them. We created opportunities. Nesbitt's not played well. Gold's rating isn't looking too good either. But at least for now, don't want to make a change too soon here, I don't think. This was a good result for us as things stand. A very, very tricky game. Colchester have not lost in a while. And Quansah, are you okay, mate? He's taken down the ball and now they're in behind. Johnson with a one-on-one. McDonald bails us out again. He had a nervy moment with that corner that he kind of dropped, but tell you what, he's also made some really big saves for us in this game, and I think he's just made another one there. McDonald, I mean, he might be the hero. He was playing down in the 8th tier of English football just 3 seasons ago, and now he is one of the best goalkeepers in League One, a player who's shot up kind of in the world of football, having been released from Burnley as a youngster and going to Nantwich Town. Currently on a 7.9 for us. You know what? With half an hour left here, I kind of want to change things up. I want us to slow down the play it out from the back. Let's just try and manage this game a little bit more. And you know what? On top of that, I think I'm also going to make a sub. Worth noting, by the way, Colchester have already had to make 2 subs in this game due to injury, so they might be a little bit worried about that. Gold's not had the best of games, so I'm going to move Nesbitt to pressing forward and bring in Maitland. Of course, Cannonier is still out, so he's not an option for us. And Hottie, not having the best game in the world. Do you know who it's time for, everyone? It's time for Jones to make his League One debut. With Cannonier not in the squad, I found a spot for him on the bench, and well, I found an opportunity and an excuse to bring him on here. So we're going to see what Jones can do. The man with no vowel in his first name. Can he help us see out this game? 1 goal to the good, but pressure definitely mounting. Colchester whipping it in. Terry Taylor heads it away, but only as far as Burgess, who's going to keep the ball alive. Or is he? Because Jones reads the pass like a buck, and now we look to spring the counter-attack. Nesbitt now playing kind of the Stephen Gold role for us. But 2 very pacey players now in Nesbitt and Maitland to maybe try and catch Colchester as they look to get a goal in this game and chase the match. Sang reads the ball well on this near side. Nesbitt in the middle. So is Maitland. Can Sang put in a ball of quality? He floats it to the back stick. It's cleared away, but only as far as Fuad. Now with Jones. I would love Jones to score in League One. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Involved in the build-up play here. It's through to Duffy. He's already scored 1. He probably should have scored another. This is a bit like last episode, isn't it? Where we had the 2 1-0 wins in games where really we should have scored a few goals more. We might still have a chance here. Nesbitt heads just wide of the post. End-to-end stuff, both goalkeepers playing pretty well on the whole. McDonald definitely one of the standout performers today. Can he keep it going for 12 more minutes? You have to expect he's going to be tested further because Colchester on the attack here. Lintott on the far side to Burgess, who looked offside, but I don't think is, and he squares it to Adam Johnson. And with that, they find a goal. They find the breakthrough. And I guess as far as Colchester are concerned, it's a case of finally they found a breakthrough. They have really ratcheted up the pressure in this game. We've struggled to deal with it. And, well, it wasn't the best defending in the world, but Colchester just looked like the better team, a team in the ascendancy throughout this match. Well, we're into a kickoff highlight. I have a sneaking suspicion this game might not finish 1-1. Both teams have had chances to score more than the goals we've seen in this game. And, well, could we respond immediately? Nesbitt to Maitland. Difficult position really to be in there on his weaker foot in the end. Couldn't pick out the pass, but Colchester's clearance goes only as far as ourselves, and well, maybe we can build something more here. Nesbitt O'Donnell. The young former Celtic man dancing through the middle, plays it through to Nesbitt. Maitland is in the centre. A few other players lurking around too. Regan Booty, O'Donnell, Nesbitt. O'Donnell hits it, finds the near post, makes it 2-1. That is the kind of result, resilience in character, we need to see this season. We showed it against Coventry. We are showing it again here. We do not go down without a fight, even away from home. We're capable of scoring goals against some of the best defences in the league. O'Donnell, thunderous finish. Keeper might feel disappointed to get beaten at the near post. But not a minute after conceding, we get a goal. And I said just a moment ago, you know, this is a game that could see more goals. I feel like it could still see more goals. I feel like 2-1 might not be how this game finishes. Jones with the ball, back to Quansah. Two players who should at this point have a pretty good understanding of one another. They've played together for so many years. All lumped forward. Nesbitt's good in the air, but not good enough to win the flick on. Now Colchester bringing the ball forward. Boateng flicks it on. Quansah reads it nicely. Now with Duffy. He lays it to O'Donnell. We are, well, on the attack, and it's gifted away to Nesbitt. Can he finally score a one-on-one? No, he can't. No, he bloody can't. Why can he not score one of these? It's still 2-1. There's 8 minutes left. I'm stressed. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying myself. We might have a chance here. Quansah near post doesn't win the header. It's cleared away from danger, but there's another highlight a minute later. This just feels like one of these games where both teams have forgotten how to defend, and it's a case of which goalkeeper can pull off the most heroics. Maitland might be played through here. He's won the ball. He backheels it to Nesbitt, who tries to finish it and hits the crossbar. The pass by Maitland was absolutely mental. Just a little no-look back pass to Nesbitt. The understanding they had. The combined XG of the two teams in this game is at 5.5, but the game is just going to end 2-1 to us. A crazy, crazy match. But we get the win. We get the win. That has been the story of our season, really. Games where I feel like we're kind of fortunate to get wins. We just keep being able to string them together. I mean, you can see things here. Charlton win against Birmingham. We are top of the table, but Charlton have those 2 games in hand. They still are really in the best position possible to win the league. As for ourselves, though, now 5 points ahead of Colchester. Yes, they've got a game in hand, but it does look like it could be a 3-horse battle. The kind of top 2 spots in the league this year between ourselves, Charlton and Colchester. I mean, look, there's still so much football left to be played this year. 27 games more. We can't even really overread into the table just yet. I feel physically exhausted watching that game. I'm not sure if we can expect this kind of run of fortune to continue, but I guess as long as we've got McDonald making saves in goal, as long as we've got players pulling out heroic finishes, maybe we can make it happen. Nesbitt, by the way, gets man of the match. He missed like 3 or 4 one-on-ones. I'd love to know what his XG was in that game. It was an underperformance, really. We make it 10 games unbeaten in the league. We are on a really, really good run of form, and it's hard not to be excited by how this season is going right now. I said it last episode, but I really do mean it this time. We are going to go forward a bit further between now and the final episode of the week tomorrow. Quite when that's going to be, I'm not entirely sure. We might come back in January. It might be that we come back towards the end of January, do a game against some of the teams in and around us, a side like Port Vale. The truth be told, the games coming up here, if I just flick through them and you look in the top right, it's a lot of teams in the bottom half where we should be winning them and hopefully coming back in a really, really good position. I mean, if we look at the XG table, I've not actually looked at it for this season. I'm wondering, are we fortunate or are we actually quite good? I mean, if you want to believe the XG table, we're underperforming on goal scoring. I will say we are massively, massively kind of overperforming in terms of goals conceded. I think that gives you an idea of just how good McDonald's been this year. But according to the expected points, we should be top of the table, and Charlton allegedly massively overperforming by every single metric. So going to be interesting really to see if they can maintain it going on this year. Of course, as I mentioned, McDonald was sensational for us. He's currently got the joint most clean sheets, and he is still improving actually, and he's improved quite a lot. A lot of players' values I've noticed since we've been playing in League One have gone up. I feel like they're starting to build up a reputation in the world of football. People are starting to notice them. So going to potentially make holding on to players over the next year or two a little more difficult than it's been as of late. But anyway, gang, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, 2 pretty crazy matches, especially that later one. It was only 2-1. It felt like there was so much more that happened. I'm going to attempt to calm down and come back tomorrow. I hope to see you guys then. I didn't mention it through the whole video, but I got a new plant, everyone. So if you've got to the end of the video, just leave a comment about the plant. It can be absolutely anything you want. You can say it looks tall, you can say it looks nice, you can say it looks rubbish and clutters the background, although the plant will be upset if you say that. So say something nice about the plant in the comments to prove that you got to the end of the video. We're going to leave things there. I'll see you tomorrow for more. This season's been crazy. It's all league games from here on out. Hopefully we can string together some good performances, and hopefully next time we're back at the top of the table. I'll see you guys then.